Hello again. So, in this video, we will discuss quantitative research methods, analysis, and interpretation. So, this video will provide us with information about what is the quantitative research method, how to analyze them, and how to interpret them. So, by the end of this video, you will learn a lot of methods for collecting the data, the quantitative data, analyzing them, interpreting them, utilize this data in a form of Likert scales and behavioral observations in order to use them to analyze them using SPSS, Excel, Python, or any other software that you can use. So, what is the advantage of having quantitative data? It can help you to make an in-depth research that allow you to get detailed statistical analysis with minimum bias, accurate results, restricted information. So, how to make the minimum bias? Because you are trying to reduce personal bias, because you are asking questions throughout the survey, so the people will not be affected by other people influence on them. And you will be able to get accurate information and result because it's all about numbers or records. So you will have restricted information because you will not be able to describe the qualitative background behind this data, but you are able only to use this number of records to make decisions about the challenges you have. Depending on the question type, you will be able to figure out how the result will be biased depending on the data you will collect from these questions. So, what can be exactly the meaning of quantitative measures? It is measurements of data that can be put into numbers. So the goal of quantitative measurement is to run statistical analysis. So data has to be in the form of numbers. So for example, it can be the blood pressure counts, it can be height, age. So these are the numbers that we can do some mathematics on them. So what are different methods that we can use in order to collect this data? Quantitative methods can answer questions like who, what, where, and how much, with emphasizing on the numbers in order to make more structured and standardized data that we can use in order to collect some useful outputs. So examples of this can be surveys in order to collect these numbers. It can be behavioral observation, rating scales, or like any achievement tests that we can collect this data throughout. So what can be the surveys, or what's the meaning of surveys exactly? A set of questions that are asked in the same exact manner, usually with a fixed set of possible responses from which to choose from. It can be also administered in person by sending mails or emails or sending letters to them with the survey itself included, or throughout a phone call. The benefit of this that we collect the answer easily, and these answers can be compared in a way of doing data analysis. So we can also collect the data through some behavioral observations, like for example how much he or she does certain behavior. So we can measure out the pattern that they are doing this behavior. So this involves watching others or watching some people and make a systematical recording for their behavior to understand the pattern that they are doing that in it. And it can provide for us more holistic perspective in order to make some consideration that observer's role in this is to be a disclosure focus on the objectives in order to collect the data and make some records about this data. It can be a location of observation that we do the observation in it, if the person behavior changing from one location to another, or it can be throughout conducting a training for the people in order to collect this data in some frequencies or some duration, specific duration of time to measure the behavior of these people. Okay, can be also observed through tracking or tracing physical behavior. The benefit of this is collecting some data related to medicine or some measures that we can use in medicine research. And this accumulation of data will help us to analyze the situation or write a report later on. There are different techniques of collecting data and writing the questions. One of them is the most used one, which is called Likert scale. Likert scale is arranging the answer of the people in the form of range of line or scale of range and asking the people to choose from. This is an easiest way because we will not collect the data from the people in a form of text, but we are asking them and asking them to choose a number in this scale, and according to this number we will do the statistics. So for example, this scale of 7 that is starting from very bad and ended with very good, and this is one of the most used scales. There are some other scales which can be more fun in order to catch the attention of the people, so we use something like this. So if we don't want the people to get bored from collecting our data or from answering questions, we can use smiley faces like this, or we can use scale like this with more pictures to get answers related to their learning process, what they understood, if they understood and can help a friend, if they understood and can help only themselves, if they understood but have some questions still, or if they don't understand at all. So using some visuals also is helping in collecting the data and make the survey more like enjoyable for the people. Or we can use smiley faces like this as well. The first one is 5 scale Likert scale, and the second one is 4 Likert scale. We can choose the scale according to what we want, accordingly what we feel like this scale is representing to what is the situation or the behavior or the satisfaction of the customers. So this is a list of different scales or Likert scales that mainly used, and you can use whenever you are collecting any survey. This is really helpful, and also it has a variety of answers that you can put on your scale. So how to analyze this quantitative data? It will involve a lot of calculating the frequencies or the counts of the variables and assessing differences between them. So we also not counting them, but we also get the coloration or the relationship between them. This approach is often used to either support or reject our hypothesis by formulating this inside our research or the proposition that we are doing inside the research, and we would like to answer our research question. So we are doing some analysis for the data that we are collecting by getting the counts, making summary for our data, getting the mean, the median, the standard deviation, but also we get the correlation, the Pearson correlation, and other statistics that we can use different softwares for this. What are the kind of softwares? One of the most used softwares nowadays is Python or SQL, but there is also another softwares like SPSS, Stata, SAS, R, or Excel sheet. So we collected the data, we analyzed them, we got our summary from this data. So we need to present them. So we need to present them to our beneficiaries, to our donors. So we can make some tables, we can make some infographics or some bar or histogram charts or pie chart or line chart or scatter plots, and we use them to present the data that we collected about the satisfaction of our beneficiaries from our programs or our project. And also we can use this in our website in order to promote for ourselves. Great job so far. So now you learned about quantitative research methods, their way of analysis and interpretation. So let's practice some critical use of them, and you how to use the Google form and the Excel sheet in order to make some analysis and visualization for the data that we collected. In the next video, keep learning and keep watching.